Something I want to talk about is like mental health, like as a student athlete. Talk to me about what you think about that. I think it's something that's serious that doesn't necessarily get talked about a lot, but I think there are people in like organizations and stuff making a stride to talk about it more. I know this summer, I don't know if you saw, but I saw like, I think I don't want to be like incorrect, but I think I saw about 3 or 4 like college athletes that had committed suicide on Instagram and stuff like that. Talk to me about like mental health from your perspective as a student athlete and just as a person.
I mean, so growing up, like I kind of had some solid parents that like grew me up or raised me well and taught me right from wrong, and I had a brother and sister that I learned a lot from as well. But I really, got to college, and being on my own was a little tough, especially when I was always doing good in school. Like my grades were usually always good, and then got to college and they were starting to get bad. I was hurt from wrestling, and I was struggling with classes and stuff like that. So that kind of put me down. And then when I realized like I had to get it wasn't just my physical health, it was more my mental health that I needed to work on. Because I ended up losing almost 30 pounds my sophomore year, and that was a big drop for me. And it was a gut check, and I realized like I gotta stay on top of that thing and eating right, working out right, doing the right thing, stretching, even like anything that helps. And I even got into yoga a little bit because that kind of helps the mental as well. So definitely just taking your time, and like sometimes you just gotta be alone and like talk to yourself, not like talk to yourself, but think on things and like go through the process of healing yourself, you know what I'm saying, instead of talking to someone else or going to other people, because sometimes you do need to talk to other people. There's got to be someone that can help you if you're going through a bad time and you can't do it yourself. So it's tough. It is tough just being a student athlete with just keeping your mental health good, because it's a lot you got to worry about. You got to worry about classes. You got to worry about keeping your spot, staying, or even trying to get that spot if you're not at that spot yet. So there's a lot that goes into it, really.
Definitely. I think it's a whole lot. Like you said, a lot of things, and I think it is tough to just find a balance. Like when you are going through something, like some things you do just got to go through alone and like not necessarily talk to anybody about. And then sometimes like you do have to be able to have some people or somebody that you can talk to. Like I think it's very tough, like mental health, being a student athlete and just being a regular person. Like people go through stuff like in real life, in real time, that we don't even know or you'll never know about. So that's why I kind of I like to joke around and like play around and stuff, but like I always am like, I'm aware of like who I'm like talking to and like try to be aware, because even though like I joke around with my friends, like I know it's times I catch my friends on a bad day, like they might be going through something, or like even somebody will catch me on a bad day or at a bad time, like with a joke, and that's just a simple interaction. So there's obviously people that are going through serious things, and like you said you lost 30 pounds, like that's really serious. But like the fact that you were able to figure out what you had to do personally and just get back to where you need to be or doing better than you were, like that's major. Salute you for talking about that. But I think that's serious, and I think that's something that people should pay more attention to, student athlete and regular people, honestly. Like it's serious.
Because like usually, like, not to go back on it, but like I am the person that a lot of people would go to talk to about things. Like I give people advice or help people do things, like, because I see that people are going through those issues sometimes. So I try to not necessarily put myself in their shoes, but if I know they might need that help, I'll reach out to them, see how they're doing, ask how things are, what's going on and whatnot. And I realized like I was usually the one doing that to everybody else, but I didn't have somebody like that. So I had to, go outside my comfort zone and not necessarily find someone like that, but understand it's okay to have somebody like that too.
For sure.
So
I think that's definitely a skill. Like that's a good life skill to have. Like just being empathetic, like being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, or like understand somebody else's perspective and like understand that things aren't like everybody's not seeing life and doing the same things you're doing in life. Just being able to understand and relate to people.
Right.
I think that's key, because if you have that ability, then you could just talk to anybody. You could meet anybody and just be good vibes. Like,
Exactly.
so I think that's key.